We're going to continue doing Grignard problems, and now let's see, again, we're planning a synthesis, retrosynthetic analysis, and using the disconnection approach. So now my target molecule is the following. So we see here that's an alcohol, is a tertiary alcohol. So now we're going to, when we disconnect, remember that we want to break, so one of the fragments is going to have a ketone, and the other fragment will come from a Grignard. So if I disconnect here, for example, this fragment will be my Grignard. The other fragment that contains the oxygen will be will be the ketone, the one that has the oxygen. What ketone? You will have a metal and an ethyl. So think, because I'm thinking backwards, this is just the analysis, this will come from what? From the following Grignard. And now I have a ketone that will have metal and ethyl. So the following. So again, let's look at that. This fragment here, this here is your Grignard. The other fragment is what you need for the ketone. And again, this is where the oxygen is, and you will have metal, ethyl, so that's your ketone. That's one way of synthesizing that. And you remember that you can always go and check your mechanism. If you put the charges, remember how that's done, you can do then the nucleophilic attack, and after protonation, you get that alcohol. Okay, now let's do the other possible. So let's say that now you are disconnecting here. If you disconnect there, you will have another piece of Grignard. Let's do the arrow backwards as we did before, because again, we're doing that analysis. Now I am saying that my Grignard is going to be this fragment. So it's going to be, say, ethyl magnesium bromide. That's this fragment. And then the other fragment is a ketone. Notice that we have here, this is my OH. So we'll have a metal and an isopropyl group. So that is one way. And yet you have another way of disconnecting that, because we could do that, the one in blue. And now because I'm thinking backwards, what is my Grignard reagent? Now it has only one carbon, so it is metal magnesium bromide. All right. And I make it react. Now, what is my ketone? Removing this, this is my oxygen. One side will have an ethyl, the other side will have an isopropyl. So it is a ketone with this isopropyl and an ethyl on the other side. So notice that we have three ways of making this compound. Now that we have tertiary alcohol, you can do the disconnection three ways. The fragment, remember, that contains the oxygen will be your ketone. The other fragment is your Grignard, thinking backwards. And again, here we did retrosynthetic analysis. And we also call that disconnection approach. So ways to disconnect that and make the molecule. And because remember, we are creating new carbon-carbon bonds and that is the greatest thing with Grignard reagents. That was a Nobel Prize because of that. Okay, so I'll see you in another video planning more synthesis and doing reactions.